we're going to tie a round lashing, which is used to join two spars in such a way that you can turn two short spars into a really long spar. Now ideally your spars are nice and straight so that when you get them lined up there's not much of a gap between them, so they fit sort of as snugly as possible against each other. Mine are unfortunately a bits of garbage and garden rubbish, and they aren't working very well. The bigger the overlap and the longer the lashing you can do, the stronger the round lashing is actually going to be. So I've got my two spars running parallel to each other, and we're going to start off with a clove hitch. Some people put the clove hitch on just one of the spars. I prefer to put them on two so that we're already tightening them against each other right from the start. So here's our clove hitch, nice and tight, as firmly as we can. And I've got my bit that I'm going to do the lashing with on the side that I'm actually going to take the lashing in the tails on the downhill side. And then just twist your little leftover bit of tail around that and start your lashing going. So apologies for bumping the screen there. Let's start this, and the tighter you can do this, the better it's going to be. So wrapping things around as tightly as possible. As we go, tighten every step of the way. Oops. Round and round, round and round. Pull tight and tight. And in fact, I'm going to cheat a little bit and turn it over, because I've got enough room that I can do this with my short spars. It's not so easy if they're long spars, but it'll let me show you more quickly. Now I'll go back to wrapping it round like that. Okay, now my lashing rope is probably a bit short for an ideal round lashing, but when we've got about this much left, we've now got time to do, or rope length to do, our half hitches to finish off. So remember, a half hitch is just to go around and through, and again the tighter you can do this, so keep it tight as you're tying it and keep it jammed up against what you've already tied, and go around and through, which you've only just made it like that. There we go. And you've got sort of what looks like a clove hitch by the time you've finished doing your half hitch there. Okay, so clove hitch to begin with. Twist the little tail around the bit of the rope that you're going to do the lashing with. Lots and lots of loops, hard up against each other, as tight as you can for as long as you can. Ideally longer rope than I've got. Really keeping these spars against each other. And in theory, and that a little bit of movement there, but in theory there shouldn't be enough movement, or much movement. The longer you can make this lashing, the less movement you'll be. And the ideal solution, if you're wanting to make something really quite tall and you've got quite long spars to start off with, is to actually do two round lashings. Do one up here and one at the other end. And I'll show you this in a moment, but that will really stop any sort of pivoting taking place. So here I'm just showing you what you can do with two short round lashings. I've got my two spars, I've got quite a bit bigger overlap there, and I've just done a round lashing at one end, a round lashing at the other end, and even though these aren't very big round lashings, because there are two of them, there's no pivot point for these two spars to twist when I try and move them. And in fact, they're quite firmly lashed together there, even despite the fact that I haven't used the most optimal rope for the purpose, and it's only short round lashings there as well. If you've got long lashing rope, then you can have the same effect by just doing a really long lashing down there, but two short lashings will work just as well for making sure that that join is rigid. So round lashing, start with clove hitch, lots and lots of turns, No frapping turns on this one, just round lashings to just keep the things tight against each other, and finishing off with 2 half hitches.